Thank you to Verta Stargo for their generous donation on Patreon. The spring isn't all that big, but it's quiet, which is all I can really ask for. Quiet and private. Well, I've had little privacy these past few days. I kneel next to the water, getting a feel for the temperature. Water's nice and warm. A hot spring. Cliff's already pulling his shirt over his head. His pack and hat are already on the ground. Some of the scrapes from the scrap with Reed and Huxley still show on his body. He is healing really slowly. What a view. I'm not complaining either. After I've lowered the straps, my overalls just fall to the ground. I can feel their eyes on me now. Cliff stammers. Murdoch clears his throat. Yep, almost worth the hike over here.
I do agree.
With my shirt undone, too, I step into the shallow water, splashing some of it on my face. Feels like a slice of heaven. Murdoch follows behind me, rubbing the water into the white fur of his chest. From the corner of my eye, I watch, even if just to see if the white trail from his muzzle goes all the way down. I can tell he's appreciating me, too. Hard scent to mistake. Sensor bar deployed. Thank you, Paul, for making it. Much appreciated. Cliff, you joining us? Weasel's still at the edge, toes barely touching the water. Looks like his mind's elsewhere, glance avoidant and ears twitching. He's picked up his hat to cover himself. Doing a piss-poor job of it, too.
I'll just be a moment.
Are you serious? Why so shy all of a sudden? This kind of thing seems right up your alley.
Oh, really now?
Well, you know, there's a couple of active men who need to wash together, along with their swords.
No fencer in the right minds would dip a foil in a hot spring. What?
Fencer in the right minds would dip a foil in the hot spring. I have no idea. Since you can't see the line, it says, no fencer in their right minds would dip a foil in a hot spring. I don't know what that means. Dots. He's talking about cocks.
I understood the jape. I'm merely pointing out that the analogy was clumsy.
Weasel chuffs a bit, tail sticking up as a noisy chitter escapes from between his teeth.
I thought this would be simple and natural, but now I'm having second thoughts.
Cliff. Fox shakes his head and wades over to the weasel, putting a hand on his side. Oh my. Well, there's a naked Cliff now. And he is ready. Good Lord. You always have second, third, and fourth thoughts, but I promise that nothing gets more natural than this. You're among friends. Sam here's probably seen so many pricks, nothing surprises him anymore. No offense, Sam. Full offense taken. You seem plenty familiar with handling balls, too, but at least I get paid to do it. Polishing cock for free. Now that's what's incorrigible. But that just pushes a new point, Professor. Ain't you already been with both of us?
Murdoch, you told him?
He mostly figured it out on his own. Now Murdoch's standing at attention. Good Lord. Fucking Cliff's eyes.
Well, it's true.
So what's stopping you? The weasel gives me a steely look, then the fox. You can see his eyelids narrow.
Ah, to hell with it.
He throws the hat aside. Neither of us are much surprised with why he was covering himself. He's hard, and we can both smell it. Long trail of ew. He's ew. Okay! Jesus! When he breaks into a run that practically splashes waist deep into the warm water. Waist deep for me, at least, almost reaches his chest. He sighs loudly.
Just what my body needed.
Not all it needs, clearly. The weasel, already washing himself, freezes for a moment. He groans.
Murdoch!
It's all right, just the three of us here. I can tell we're all a little worked up. He's not wrong. Cliff looks to me, down right above the water. Been too fucking long since I...
Okay. Okay.
His eyes go wide and his face flushes. I slide a hand down over my stone match. Damn it! I didn't even mean to say it that way. Keep my eyes trained on him and grab myself. His breath catches in his throat. I'm back in my element and it feels good. Nothing to be ashamed of, Professor. I caramba. Okay, okie dokie, artichoke. I pump it slowly just to watch his face contort as he tries to contain himself. The stoat's eyes linger on me, and his own hand sinks below the water as well. He grits his teeth and moans. I hear Murdoch chuckle beside me. You folks mind if I join? I feel a smile spread across my face. Depends. Can you keep up? I don't always feel like I know what's going through this fox's head, but I definitely do right now. Of course, I don't make wages I know I can't win, Sam. The stoat looks like his mind is elsewhere, suddenly. Looks like he's thinking about what he's going to say next very carefully with considerate deliberation. He's going to make an offer.
I wager I'd very much like having you both.
He's so quiet I have to perk up my ears to hear him. Wager accepted, then. Let's take this to the water's edge. The fox is as hard as the both of us coming out of the water. As the sensor bar coming back? I wasn't looking before, but I definitely am now. He's pretty big, too. He sits down at the edge of the spring, russet paste still planted in the water. I follow, Cliff trailing behind me. The stoat sits between us both. He looks at me, and I don't need to hear him speak to know what he wants. Put my hand on his thigh, earning a little squeak from him before Murdoch does the same to his other leg. He twitches, leaking sun. Jesus, fuck. He tells me all I need to know I am doing well.
Heavens.
Just from a single touch? Fox's lips stretch into a smirk as he takes hold of the weasel delicately, rubbing a thumb over the fucking hell. The weasel moans loudly. Instinctively, I tilt his head toward me, shutting him up with a kiss. It tastes like mint again. Not surprising, considering he seemed to expect this. He moans into my mouth as Murdoch plumps him. Fox reaches over with his free hand, bringing a finger under his muzzle to tip him in his direction. I watch them lock muzzles. It's strange looking from the outside in. Unlike the girls, I usually don't get more than one customer at a time. Then, when they pull away, my eyes meet Murdoch's. I lean over the weasel, now resting on his back. We both get on our knees. Oh, lordy, bagordy, artichoke. Fox tilts his head one way, I tilt mine another. Kissing him's very different compared to kissing Cliff. He uses a lot more tongue, and his fangs are bigger. I can taste a hint of the weasel on him. He's good at this, but I want more. The weasel's shaking beneath us, Murdoch squeezing him tightly.
I'm
not done yet. Let's go, Cliff, our foreheads pressing together. The weasel's corks left a good lord. I grab my own, pointing it at him. Come on, just like I taught you. Cliff lets out a pitiful whine. He pushes himself up a little, enough to be able to wrap a hand around me. I can feel his breath on me. Why the fuck? No one ever shows up when I'm reading, just like a normal walking through the hallway and chatting with your classmates scene. Everyone is home and out and around when it gets to the fucking porn. Why does it always wind up this way? Why, damn it, why?
Because you live a life of sin.
Fuck. See his nose twitch as he takes in my scent. He opens his muzzle wide. Easy. Let me help. Murdoch puts a paw on the back of Cliff's head, pushing him forward. Jesus. Weasel squeaks, then moans as I push into him. Warm, wet, and tight. I missed this. Cover your teeth. Yeah, like that. That's it. Slowly. You're getting better. I scratch his ears before pushing him off. He looks at me with confusion in his eye before I push him on his back, watching his cork spring back into the air. We're all the same right now. I dip down, feeling my throat rumble, swallowing. Wow, without any trouble at all. The whole thing. I look up, see Murdoch watching me, and he understands. I push off, and he bows down to take his turn too. I want to watch him taste my... Wow. Jesus. Fucking Christ. Cliff has to push him off with shaking hands. I've already repositioned myself, spreading my legs, pulling Cliff up again and back to my lap. Once again, I open my legs to him. He doesn't hesitate this time as he dips. I believe we were in the middle of something as well, Sam. Murdoch buries his face in the fur of my neck, inhaling deeply. In turn, I nibble and look at the tips of those ears of his. He shudders. I'm looking forward to seeing what else I can make him do. Right. Take his cork in my hand right before kissing him again, letting the determined weasel do most of the work below. Murdoch's drizzling my fingers with his wow. Even more than wow. His scent hangs thick in the air. All I can smell now is the three of us. All I can feel right now is the three of us. The fox's tongue lolls from his mouth once we break apart, a string of ew. His breaths are short, shallow. So are mine. I rock my hips slowly. It's taking me some effort not to... Wow. I want to turn. I look down at the weasel. You hear that, Professor? I thrust all the way into his muzzle until I feel his snoot and whiskers against me. Murdoch holds him in place for a few moments. He makes a sound. Think he likes the idea. Do you now? Murdoch takes his paw off the back of Cliff's head, and the weasel comes up for air. He licks his lips, chest heaving with every heavy breath he takes. I aim Murdoch's cork at his muzzle, and he seems to take the hint. Turns his head and licks the fox's tip. Murdoch pushes out a loud breath. Take it slow. Savor the taste. Ugh. Cliff shuts his eyes, tongue swirling about the head of the fucking Christ. Murdoch cranes his neck back, pushing out a loud breath through his nostrils. He's a natural. He is. I brushed my muzzle against Murdoch's neck, dragging my tongue over the white fur that trails down to his chest, and rubbed myself again. He moans, thrusting forward right into Cliff's mouth. The weasel struggles and gags for a moment, but doesn't pull back. You take the other end, Sam. Think he can take it? Oh, he's a lot more adventurous than you think, aren't you? He hilts himself all the way into Cliff's muzzle. The weasel's eyes go wide, then lid. He lifts his tail with a hand. I lick my lips. Oh my Christ, really? I'm getting real close just watching the two of them. Not about to say no to an invitation like this. Hands on knees. What, hands and knees? Hands and knees. The fox, still buried in his muzzle, helps the weasel shift. Cliff's eyes find mine as I get behind him, raking my fingers down his back. I grip his tail at the base, tugging it up. He lets go, putting his hand on Murdoch's thigh instead. Murdoch's got his eyes on me, and I have different plans. I shuffle backwards on my knees, touching the shallow water with my legs. I lean down. He's clean. Good. Okay. Yep, can't read that. Nope, can't read that. Nope. Nope. He cries, nope. Nope, can't read that. I hear wet, nope. Fox is thrusting, shaking the weasel's body, almost makes it hard to do my job. Nope. His tail thrashes. He sounds like he's the sounds he's making and the way he's nope. Once he's slit nope. Judging by his expression, the fox is on the brink. I better keep up. And there's a picture that in no way in hell am I going to be able to censor it properly. Yeah, there's no way. I double checked just to make sure. There's no way in fuck I could censor that and keep it in. So yeah, gotta skip. I held out as long as I can with the skipping. I tried, but I can't show this part. You want to see it in its full without me skipping through? The fucking game is free. Links in the description. Support the creator if you can. Go ahead. Have a ball. Okay, it's done now. I will say, you can't really see much. I can't show you any of that CG. Like, there's nothing. Like, the amount of censoring I'd have to do would be ridiculous. But for those who have seen it or are going to go from this episode and go play the game yourself, which you definitely should, support the creator, the CG is damn near grotesque. Like, the faces. Just, and I don't know, something about the harshness of the shadow, it all just seems... I don't know. Something is wrong. I don't know. The vibe is off. The vibe is off. And there's a face in the rocks. There is a face in the rocks just above the water. Not the ones in the water, but like rocks, tree, and then above that, there's a face. Someone pointed out that in the lake, there was a face in the rocks. Y'all getting clever with this fucking art. Atta boy, Professor.
That was lovely.
His arms and knees buckle when I'm about to pull out of them. Turns his head.
Could you stay a few moments longer?
Don't have to tell me twice, not when he's this tight. Grab him tight, slowly rolling the both of us onto our backs. There's another CG! I gotta check, see if it can be shown. I doubt it, but we'll see. Okay, I can show this. This is sweet. They're all smiling and enjoying themselves. There's a little bit of nudity, so I gotta censor the bottom part, but this is just nice. They're enjoying themselves. Practically glowing, he sighs, arching his back against my chest. Murdoch gets down next to me. I wrap an arm around the fox, and he accepts, pressing against my side. Gives my neck a nuzzle before caressing Cliff's cheek. Told you I could keep up. That chuff concerned me a few times there. A soft one-note laugh escapes Murdoch. Lies and slander.
You are both not quite what I expected.
I wonder what he means by that, but he looks so carefree. The stoat seems to have caught his breath. Murdoch lays his head on my chest, snout pressed against Cliff's head. We're gonna need another bath. We've got time. The three of us look up at the sky together. The sun's gone down completely, and I can't even begin to count the number of stars I see. It's a beautiful night out. Is this the to be continued? There's a fade out. Fading. We're fading out. Yep, there's a to be continued. Now, before we go, I do want to check and see what the fuck happens when we click Jeb and Avery way the fuck back here at the house. So, I'm just curious. I'm curious. I figured I'd show y'all. I've recorded this all in bulk, so for those, there might have been some people in the comments who were saying that I should have done this, or that it was good I didn't. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. This has all been recorded in one go. They'll be fine on their own. Whatever you say, fella. Whose house y'all reckon this belonged to? Can't say, considering it looks like it's been in disrepair for decades. We ain't ever seen it. The bear booms something I don't understand, and Avery starts walking to the back of the house behind some bushes. What's hollering about? Dunno. Let's have a look. Oh, a campfire. Yo, in fucking Carlsruhe, there was a fire outside. I'm just saying. We see the others crouching over a clearing where there's no plants growing anywhere. It smells like ash. This one of those bonfires your daddy was talking about? That would be the case. There's a buildup of ash here, so it had to be used plenty. Strange to see it here, though. That style of cabin looks more like something your people would build. I feel the ash with my paw and sift through it. It's soft and silky to the touch. Then it's hard and cold. I feel a lump. Huh? What's this? What's that? I pull out what's in the ash carefully, tipping it over as more dirt falls out of a hollow end. Brush away the caked on grime and feel the smooth sides of it. I'm worried. Oh, looks like a pipe? I feel it a little more until my paws are up against something coarse. Feels like there's something engraved, too.
JB, John Begay, I fucking told you, motherfuckers! I fucking knew it!
Jesus, fuck, man! Yike, fucking yeesh! I hold the pipe away from my face and look at it. Huh. There's an engraving on it. Either you know, buddy... Fuck you, man. Either you know somebody that goes by these initials. No. Not a soul. Must have abandoned it. Ah! Fuck! Must have abandoned it. Or died. Maybe in that house. But I don't want to say that out loud. We hear crunchy footsteps behind us. Murdoch's wearing the same quiet smile he went into that house with, but his clothes are a little more dirty. Cliff looks even dirtier and unamused. So the two of you lived after all.
Well, no thanks to you, Samuel.
He's mad at you. Wait, what did I do?
There are beams and undergrowth every which way.
The place is trashed.
I could have gone further into the kitchen had you been there.
You mean the support beams?
They were in the doorway. I can assure that they held no purpose for their intended structural integrity any longer.
I told him you wouldn't have moved them anyway.
Well, at least he would have been capable of moving them. Beneath the fluff, you're just fat and leg muscles.
Since when did that bother you?
Since I needed to move a beam.
Alright. We've spent enough time here. Let's move. Alright, so good thing when you find out something interesting if you stay outside, but it's probably better for the route to go with Murdoch. And Cliff into the house. I'm going to save it. Okay, I'm going to save it down here. So hopefully future me does not start with this, even though it is 4 minutes later. Hopefully this fucking CG, which barely conceals the ass, will clue me in. Well, that's going to be it for this episode of The Smoke Room. This update has been interesting. Ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and down and up and down and up and fucking joke. It's a joke about fucking. Thank y'all very much for watching this. If you want to play this yourself, the link to the Patreon page is in the description, along with other various ways to support me if you would like. While you're down there, leave me a comment. Let me know what your favorite part of this update was. I have a clue what it might be. And also the subscribe button and ring the bell. Please utilize those. Like the episode if you liked it. Dislike it if you disliked it. I don't fucking care. If you want to see other stuff I have done already, I have left some links in the cards that have popped up throughout this video. And on the end slate, there is a video recommended specifically for you by YouTube and the newest one that I have put out. With that all being said, everyone, I have been the trained unprofessional Vivian, and I will talk to y'all later, okay? Bye!